Hello, it's me, the Avatar Fanatic, and today we will be conversing about what series I think is better, Avatar The Last Airbender or The Legend of Korra. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Nearly 90% of my viewers are not subscribed, so I'd appreciate if you guys go to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more content if you guys would like to be notified when I upload. Now, on to the video. We're going to be dividing this up into categories and we're just going to talk freely about what I think about both series. So, the first category is character development. Obviously, in ATLA, people like Zuko have a tremendous redemption arc. People like Aang is a really tough kid with responsibility, but he's also fun and loving and comedic in a way. He also keeps his kid sense while having a responsibility of being the Avatar. Keeps that sanctity well in the series. Sokka is really the enforcer of Team Avatar, but he's also a great comedic act while not being a joke. He's a serious character. He's just funny, which is great. You don't want to make your comedic character look like a joke. Um, that just defeats the purpose of a comedic character. If you always treat him like a joke, you're never gonna treat him seriously when it comes to the series. I also like that he's an innovator. Things like creating balloons, hot air balloons. He invented the balloons. Those were really smart, and things like that make him a lot better in the series because he has a responsibility. Because he's a non-bender, you got to give him something, right? Katara is the motherly, caring character. She did have a mediocre love arc with Aang, but overall, her character development was pretty good. The Painted Lady was a good episode for her. The bloodbending thing with the on Ra was also a really good sort of thing that, you know, a moral sort of episode, like a decency episode. Tough. She was insecure, but tough as nails. You know, bending tournaments, underground tournaments. She just completely tried to run over people, and she did. She was a champion. But then she also had her insecurities of her being blind, whether she looked good. Um, and those types of things play well on the show. Next, we got Korra. She starts off tough, but becomes humbled with trauma throughout her story. She starts off extremely tough. Obviously, when she's trying to learn airbending, she just takes all the pins down, those like spinning pins down, and she really didn't understand what it meant to be an airbender. She thought she could just completely overpower everything. Tenzin taught her another way. Events that happened, such as Amon bloodbending her, Zahir poisoning her, her losing the Avatar cycle, cities burning, things like that really humbled her. And I think that that character development overall was a good thing, but different than Aang's. Mako was a mature, tough guy, had a love triangle with Korra and Asami that was pretty weird. I don't know if I liked it that much. I mean, Bolin tried to make it like a quadro, but it was weird. I didn't like it overall, if I'm being honest. Asami is a compassionate maverick. She's a helpful person, supplies things like cars. She had a business, had a sense of responsibility as a character, which I kind of liked. I liked her as a character, but I don't think that she was like included enough in the show as an integral part. Bolin was funny. Again, not treated as a joke like Sokka. I'm pretty sure these creators, DiMartino and Konietzko, did a really good job with making their characters funny, but not a joke. So I do applaud them for that. He does gain confidence across the show. He becomes an actor. Nuktuk, yeah, Nuktuk, great sort of development for him as a character. He becomes muscular. You show that he's growing into his own. And I like that development of him across the series. He's one of my favorite characters. The lava bending thing was also a really good thing. He just was just gaining skill after skill, and he was probably one of the best characters in the series in my opinion, and a really underrated character. Team Avatar cohesion. The gang is no question better. Let's just get that straight. They're just every single second. They're just teamwork, teamwork, teamwork. They're just kids finding their way, and that's the beauty of it. They just did everything so organically, and they just kept doing task after task after task and just kept going to different places. Stuff kept happening, events kept happening. Just they just went with the flow as kids. That was really cool. With Team Korra, it was majority in Republic City, I'd say. They're all rugged individuals, developed bonds from pro bending, except Asami. But Korra and Asami got close from her 2 year hiatus and her 2 year departure when she got traumatized or something with Zahir when she wasn't at her full capabilities. That poison in her body got her close with Asami, which I thought was a good thing, but didn't expand on it enough. And I think Nickelodeon had something to do with that, but I'm not sure. Um, but I did kind of like that at the end, but I'm not sure whether they were meant to expand on that or not. But yeah. Team Korra was also not as good at bending talent wise, but older, so they were probably around the same skill level, maybe slightly more or less. Doesn't really matter. The episodes individually, Avatar The Last Airbender is way better, giving us classics like Zuko Alone and The Tales of Ba Sing Se, two of the best episodes of all time out of any series, period. It's like really two of the best episodes, honestly. They also had better final battles. I found that the final battles with Agni Kai with Zuko and Qatar uh, and Azula was better than something like Korra versus Kavira, or Korra versus Unalaq. Korra versus Unalaq was graphically cool, but just not as good of a story, I'd say. And Korra is better graphically, while The Last Airbender is better emotionally. It's a more emotional series and it connects with the viewer a little more. The stories make more sense. Um, Avatar: The Last Airbender overhaul just has way better stories. The restoration of the Air Nation in Korra was good. I do think the character arcs tie in with things with storylines because Aang's realization of being the last Airbender, giving himself responsibility and such. Aru's wisdom, giving to Zuko and really evolving him as a person. They all serve as great add-ons to storylines. And I think both storylines of both shows were good, but Korra, I guess, was just like four different villains, four different seasons, while Aang, it was kind of like they're all here and they just keep lingering and lingering and lingering. And then it's kind of like a coronation where they just face off in a final battle, which I don't know, I kind of preferred, but both styles do work. It's very common in different series to do like season by season villains and stuff like that. The Legend of Korra is less thoughtful. It's still pretty comprehensive um, with storylines. It did have trouble introducing characters at times as well. And the Amon and Zahir's storylines were really good, while the Korra and the Unalaq ones were not as good. I think the Tarlok one was really good as well. Villains, Zula is by far the best villain across both series. No question. She's probably one of the best villains of all time in any series. Ozai, pretty mediocre, in all honesty. Zhao, the worst character in history. Don't even get me started on Zhao. He's the worst. Zuko evolved himself. Great villain. He really wanted the Avatar and just couldn't quite ever get him completely. But then he changed himself, which was really good. Zahir and Amon are great, great villains. Those are by far the season one and season three are by far the two best seasons in the Legend of Korra. Kavira was okay. She was above average, I'd say. She was pretty good. Unalaq is powerful, and I'd say he's generic and boring, so he's about average, I'd say. Um, Not much to say about Unalaq. He's probably one of the more powerful villains that we found. More powerful than like Kavira or Zahir for sure. Um, but just kind of like a generic character. I would have liked to seen the Red Lotus type thing with Unalaq expanded on it a little more because Zahir mentioned it. He was in it, but never really mentioned a sentence apart from that. Although there are like things talking about his story in the Red Lotus outside the series, but there's not really something in the series. It would be a really entertaining thing if like Zahir, Pali, and all those people had like flashbacks and stuff like that. It would be really cool. Overall, though, Both series are good, but one is near perfection, and that's obviously Avatar The Last Airbender. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. Remember, only 10% of my viewers are subscribed, so let's try to make that 50%. Hit the notification bell to get notified when I upload. But until next time, it's me, the Avatar Fanatic out.